Welcome back to Watches Oliver Smith. Today we're going to talk about the Omega Speedmaster and what makes that such a phenomenal timepiece over the last 20, 30 years of its history, or even more.
The Speedmaster Moonwatch is celebrating its 60th year now.
Wow, didn't even realize it was that long. Yeah. First, we're going to talk about what we're wearing on our wrists. So today I have on my A. Lange 1815 up-down rose gold, which was present to myself.
Yep.
For surviving another year here at Oliver Smith.
Well deserved. And I am wearing a Lange Sohne's Grand Lange 1 Moon Phase.
Cool. Well, tell us about the Omegas.
Okay, so the Omega Speedmaster is one of my favorite stories in all of watchdom. It was 1968, and NASA was looking for a watch for their astronaut program. So unbeknownst to Omega, they had gone out locally around the Houston area, grabbed a whole bunch of watches and tested them. The Omega Speedmaster won the war to become the official watch of NASA's astronaut program. So this is a deeply cool piece. It is from 1970. So in a lot of ways, this is one of the very, very first official moon watches that we as the public could buy. It's 1969, of course, we landed on the moon, and then 1970, this watch came out to the public. So stainless steel chronograph, no date. And that might be a little controversial for some, but to be a space watch, the date doesn't really matter. It depends on what side of the planet you're on. No need for a date in space, if you will. The crystal is acrylic on this one. The reason for that is if they had done sapphire, which was a little early for this anyway, but if they had done sapphire and something were to impact the watch in space, you would have all these shards floating around the capsule. Acrylic breaks into larger chunks, and it's much easier to deal with in those kind of situations. Manual wind. Why manual wind? Automatics were already out at this time. Automatic wouldn't work in space. You have to physically put the power into the watch to make it work. So there were certain criteria that the watch needed to have. So this is a very, very early example of a Speedmaster Professional moon watch, followed by the modern version of the Speedmaster moon watch. So this one was made just a few years ago, but has a lot of the same earmarks.
The same size or a different size?
Size is pretty much the same. The modern is a little bit larger, about a millimeter and a half, a little bit thicker as well.
Okay. Kind of see that.
But still has the acrylic crystal. Still has the closed case back. At this point, you'll see the engravings on the back. They kept it as original as possible to still be called a moon watch. It has that great connection to that very, very human event of us being on the moon. And forward to one of the most modern versions, and personally a little controversial, what we call the sapphire sandwich. They took the Speedmaster moon and upgraded it. They put a sapphire crystal on it and an exhibition back, so you can actually see that wonderful movement that's in there. A lot of purists will say, oh, that can't be a moon watch, and I was one of them for a long time until the very, very first sapphire sandwich I ever really got exposed to, I bought. It was a fantastic watch. I've learned to love the sapphire sandwich despite maybe not being an actual moon watch. So there you have it, a great example of three wonderful Speedmasters here at Oliver Smith.
Can you give us an idea of what you're asking for these pieces?
They're going to vary. The most expensive piece here is going to be the vintage one, 1970. I'm right around $8,000 on that one. The modern stuff is relatively inexpensive for the amount of watch you get. They'll range between $4,000 and $5,000. Sapphire sandwich is going to be a little bit more than that.
And do they have the full kit?
This one does not. This one came to me. I actually bought it off of a gentleman's wrist. He did not have the box and papers. He did not know to keep them. So that's also why.
Was he the original owner?
He was the original owner.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, super cool. So that's also why this one doesn't have the box and papers. These two do have full kit, full box and papers. The box is huge. They come with multiple straps, a little loop for viewing. It's a really neat kit on those. Yeah.
Thanks again, George, for the depth into the Omegas. It's neat to have three different pieces from different eras with the brand, so it's really fun to get to know more about these timepieces.
Don't forget, guys, not only are we located in Scottsdale, we do have our Aspen boutique. If you want to learn more, if you want to know when we're getting into new stuff, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click on notifications. Thanks so much.
Thanks again. Stay tuned.